Hello everyone, welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief Recap. Let's just see if YouTube is working. To the Rational, it is awesome. All right, here we are. It is Tuesday, 29th of December, last day to do tax loss selling. And actually, I guess maybe even for the Americans, potential capital gains tax changes coming, so do your tax profit selling. Anyway, today's the last day to do it. Stocks have a 3-day settlement. Of course, I suppose options and futures probably could sneak them in before the end of the year. But any equity purchases that have a classic 3-day settlement, today's your last day to do tax loss, tax event, tax driven transactions. So with that said, market's kind of malaisy here. We got a little bit of an uppy. Noticed, actually I'm going to see if this works. Always fun to tinker with Sjord's tools halfway through the daily briefs. See how anti-fragile his platform is. Oh, yeah, responded well. So European market, a little bit uppy. A little bit probably happier than the American market. That might actually have something to do with that taxable driven transactions. I don't know. Tough to say. As I said, down the road, what I'd like to get is the entire universe, all of this stuff, all in one big ass breadth chart. But we'll get there eventually. Point here is let's see where we are. Kind of fun little charts that Sjord's put together for us. I think it's this S&P 500. Here in North America. And, market was up, but, I was starting to see a lot of sort of, I was worried that we were going to have basically a big dump here. Profit taking, and that was it. And a lot of this rally, if you look at the charts, are like straight up. So be careful here, folks. Be careful. My hunch is there's probably some euphoria into the new year, especially around crypto, but also too around Joe Biden's inauguration and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not really looking for like collapse. And if anything, 2021, I have a funny feeling it's going to be a sideways year. It's not going to be like a down year. It's going to be like zip, like Bitcoin, for example. I could easily see us explore, 10,000, 12,000 to the downside. And I could see us easily explore 25, maybe even 30 to the upside. But that's kind of the context that I think the next year is going to be in. So anyway, don't think we should look for a crash just yet. And if anything, maybe this kind of makes sense too, right? Breadth is kind of just sort of middle of the road. You can see nobody's really like egregiously in the dumps. I mean, maybe this is starting to look a little bit red. Everything's sort of sideways here. If we start seeing everything heavily red, then actually I'm going to start getting bullish. So, for your conversation, and remember we talked a little bit about this junior market was just on an absolute This is the junior market versus the senior market. We talked about potential fractals yesterday. Well, it sure looks like that did fractal out. Also, too, you can see that the big stocks themselves, the S&P 500, they're down. Oil's not really doing a hell of a lot here today. Bonds are actually down a little bit, and gold's sort of just floundering. Everybody's kind of floundery-ish. Remember I said this is the last day. Like if you were going to bid the market up and really, ring the register. Ironically enough, you have to get the public super frothy. I definitely think they got the public frothy. And you have to very silently, very quietly go in there and sell. And I think that's what's happening here today. I see a lot of that. What I wanted to show you was, something was on my mind, but it's, oh well. So our little 6 grid matrix looking for US dollars to bottom. hasn't W'd out yet, gone through celestial events. The world is insanely US dollar bearish. Perfect scenario for a nice short squeeze. Well, we'll see how it goes. Got US dollar puts. We'll probably buy their calls on the US dollar bullish ETF. I am bidding for Canadian dollar put options on the ETF on that. I would like to build some currency positions here through this pivot. These options are like January 2022 options, so buying myself a year. I think the Canadian dollar ones, I think also I was looking at the leaps, but they might have been like June's. So, Kevin, are you still paying attention to that? I don't know. I think we were looking at the same trade. I can't remember what the expiration was we were looking at. I don't even know if he's here or not. He might be. Nope, doesn't sound like it. All right. Anyway, doesn't matter. There he is. On which? On the Canadian dollar. Remember Canadian dollar? We were hunting those puts. I just can't remember whether it was a June option or whether it was a leap that we were looking at. This guy here. June. There you go. So answer that question pretty quick. All right. Let's see. Where shall we go next? So, in this frothy, ridiculous market state, if you get assets that double, triple, quadruple, quintuple, whatever, I mean, for God's sakes, pay yourself. So, we had a funny situation. One of our silly little warrants went absolutely apeshit yesterday. So, I was able to ring the register. Felt pretty good about that. But if anything, this is a fantastic analogy of how insane this market is. Look at that craziness. If you did not have your open orders to sell, you missed the bull. See ya. Noticed a couple of these little ones we've been touting recently are just getting sexier than sex. Tough Built, that's Jamie's idea. Oh my goodness. Problem is you can't buy there. That's actually where I just took profits recently. This little ox brew, but public trading warrants, I don't know, that's probably not really in your best interest to go down that road. But you could look at the underlying stocks, like this OXBR, pretty good looking stock. But you should look at this and go, okay, well, I know exactly why that Beamish guy would be interested in something like this, right? Bottom end of the range. I mean, this is a bit tough. But, you can see that it W'd out here, and it's understandable why the warrant's taking off here. So in that kind of environment, all right, rock on, make some money, way to go. Got a whole bunch of stocks that are, getting up into double levels, but not quite. You just got to be patient. If this thing pulls back and fills in gaps, I might just go buy the stock back. But right now, no, I'll just be patient. Jamie, if you're watching this later, man, I still like your my size stock. I know he doesn't like it anymore. Look at this one. Jeez, what a pretty little www by the you-know-what.com. I mean, look at that chart. Problem is, I can't get filled, bastards. I do have a bunch of options on the book, so, if it does take off, so be it. But that's definitely one that I want to get long. So, there are names. Fascinating. I'm not really a big fan of investing in gold per se as sort of like a macro kind of thing. But I do love my VCIM names. So this is a junior stock, restructured, shares for debt, options directors, blah, 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 blah. Then they go and find a property, and it turns out they got gold on the property. Woo, imagine that. And look at this stock. This is a weekly W, and it's gapping higher right out of the gate here this morning. What do you think? I'm long from here. This is a gold stock. Am I pretty happy camper? You tell me. So, in a weird sort of way, I'll be long the metals. There's another one. Ore stone mining. Beautiful W. Sex-alicious. How about this one? These guys are in the fluorite business. What the hell is fluorite? It's mine. And that's the way I'm looking at this market. Actually, I really like sort of like the base metal kind of names and plays. And Exotic, esoteric metals. I don't know whether just going and buying a big whack of gold, though, here makes a lot of sense. Feels like you're chasing a story. That's yesterday's story. So if I was going to play the commodities, it would be through things like VCIMs. But this is structure. And ironically enough, what usually happens at the end of this is I go, oh, well, it turns out they're going into the gold business. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. Whatever. Be a little bit careful. You know, it's good to see that the senior gold and silver names, like I said, silver looks okay. Picked up a bit of this. It's a pretty half-decent silver name. I got a ton of wiggle room here, so there's really nothing to do there. But, you know, the big gold stocks, bleh. Momentum divergences. Nothing really breakdowny here, but just nothing to get really excited about either. You know, the part of the market that I do love is value. You know, this is Zach's insurance company. Insurance, boring. Here's one of Kevin's stocks. These are manufacturers. Boring. But look at that chart. It's just so pristine. So that's actually where I'm like thinking about where I want to belong. Interestingly enough, I don't know whether it looks like Pharma's. Remember I said earlier, I was a little concerned that maybe we're going to see some profit taking. You know, these ones. Man, they're coming in on the sell side hard here. There's a bit of volume coming in up top here. Riot, same thing. So, you know, hopefully you can force yourself to come in at the bottom ends ranges and you're selling into these kind of rallies. I don't know whether buying stuff here or there makes any sense at all. Also see they're coming in hard on the sell side on these pot names as well. So actually I had one more position. I liquidated everything else. I had one more sell half on a double order working right up top here. They never filled me, the bastards. But there's a good example more of that. What I think is they bid the market up, especially the Americans. This is Canada, so it's not so bad. But the Americans bid the market up into that taxable event. Look at these silly alternative fuel stocks. Like, holy bejesus. They took this damn thing over $50. Here we are at 36. Jeez, 15% haircut in one day. Ay, caramba. So this is how risky this market is. You come in here, this is like Mr. Barstool buying up here. You got to be able to prepare to be able to see some serious pullback here. And of course, you know, I talked to you guys about this in crypto and shit like that, and it never obviously gets received well. Jesus, look at Tough Belt now, 17.5. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, actually, you know, this is actually interesting. I guess I have my next sell order working at about 34, 35, so I never got filled up top there, but I wouldn't mind getting another double off there. Please, thank you. But anyway, I'm kind of blabbing away here today. Okay, enough stock market. Crypto stocks, they're actually selling that. I mean, maybe we work our way higher. For the daily brief crowd, we sort of walked through how this unwinding of the weekend trade sort of went through London kill zones and stuff. And I might argue that if we can W out on the other side of this trend line, start working our way higher, a new bullish setup can start firing here. Fascinating. And interestingly enough, previous setups that we had talked about through the weekend. Let's see, where the hell would that be? Maybe I got rid of it. Actually, you probably can see it here. So this bot setup, right? It's just working away. Move stop to trailing. Okay, that's what that says. Yeah, you can see if we go and lose these lows in earnest, right? This becomes a big honking smiley face. And you can even say now that there's a little smiley face within a big smiley face. So, you know, if we lose that level, then clearly this bull's toast, right, for now. On the other hand, right, one low, two lows, three lows, trend line being broken, we can start, you know, pushing our way higher here. Well, here we go again. And that target would be 31.5. One thing I noticed that kind of stuck out at me about this rally here was, probably better to look at it from here, was we had 3 technical objectives up here that were not hit. So we had this chaos level foggy. We had a 1 to 3 angle up off the old all-time high. And, you know, look how, like this, the 1 to 8 angle off the old all-time high. Look how important that was. The 1 to 4 angle, right, is support. So I was a little surprised to see that this 1 to 3 wasn't traded too. And, of course, our bot target. So I was a little surprised that that didn't get hit. But, you know, spades. There's the EVUs. Jupiter-Saturn conjunct. There's our 40-year pivot. And now, you know, weekend trade, bid it up. EVU 120, energy release. Like I said, I have no idea which way this thing's going to go. But if they decide to break this thing to the downside here, then, you know, get ready. In fact, actually, this megaphone actually is still legitimate. So the megaphone people would say, that's fine. You know, this is the M top, right? You're going to sell back into the megaphone. You're going to risk up to here, and your profit objective is going to be down there. So just be prepared. Be ready. And as I said there a few minutes ago, if on the other hand, right, we firm up here, we can W out on the other side of the trend line, well, the bulls might step right back in here. You want to look at maybe momentum indicators to try and give you a little bit of a help here. Not really getting a hell of a lot. If anything, I don't like when I see this, but it's probably something along those lines. So maybe even something like that. So we're probably like banging around in here. And if we can surge up through those highs, then away you go. And that would probably come in on a nice surge through the 2,700 or 27,000 level. So, big hurry up and do nothing. Buy on a break above 27.2, sell on a break below 25.7. It's pretty simple. Anything else we'd like to talk about with you guys? I guess it is this chart, isn't it? It's kind of messed everything up. Let's put all this stuff away. Wow, what a mess. I guess maybe I must have screwed something up here. Oh, I'll just get rid of that. Okay, so we talked a little U.S. dollar. We talked a little stock market. We talked a little crude. I'm bearish of crude. I never want to invest in crude again, to be honest with you. Bonds. It's kind of going sideways. Probably waiting for some sort of signal out of the stock market. Gold. We've talked about it. Base metals look good. I'm not overly impressed with gold. And if anything, I was trying to show people on the daily brief today that the gold market, I really like this chart. So this chart says, you know, if this is moving up, then gold should outperform silver. And it means the economy is really weak. The chart's moving down, silver's outperforming gold, means the economy is stronger, and generally, that's like a good sign for growth. So, I like all these M's. I like that we're breaking. I'd like to see us go smash through this low. And, of course, like I said, I'm long a ton of these sort of industrial kind of metals proxies. And some silver, right, even through that first majestic. And, of course, if everything breaks down, I'll blow out the trades like First Majestic. But my little VCIMers, because I'm buying value, I'm not really too concerned about them. Actually, this is a really good, and I didn't even talk about it with the site here today, but this is a really powerful tool for you to see sort of problems within the economy itself. This is a relationship between the Dow Transports and the Dow Industrials. And the simple theory goes that if the industrials are producing more and there's more economic activity, then they got to ship them to market so the transports get business. And you can see that there's a disconnect here. The disconnect is confirmed, of course, if we get market structure on that Dow Transports, if it M's out here. And you can see it's looking very M-y. while the industrials is still moving to new highs. So this is getting very dangerous. That's a dangerous signal you're seeing there. And you see the last time Dow Transports broke down, industrials went to new highs. Look at what happened afterwards. Do you see what I mean by dangerous? Oh, yeah. So be forewarned. Writing's on the walls. And you don't see those Dow theory sell signals every day. So you got to be kind of cognizant. You just got to keep that in the back of your mind. What's going on here? All right. So, Mr. Doom and Gloom, happy-go-lucky, not. I got a funny feeling 2021 is going to be just sort of we're sitting on our hands. We're waiting for price to clean up. Then we get into maybe this spring. A whole bunch of W's start forming. All right, we're going to play the market into the summer rally period, right? Blah, 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 blah. Interesting, Kevin. You see that there's 5 people watching this stream right now? I don't know whether you're on there once or twice. Fascinating. So obviously Big Brother sitting here watching this content with us. Sure hope you're a paying, subscribing member. All of a sudden, boom, 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 the numbers just drop back down to 0, what they're supposed to be. Oh, well. What do you say about we talked about Bitcoin there. So, you have your levels. The altcoins, I'm not going to say this is easy. It's not like shooting fish in a barrel. This is pretty difficult trading. It's certainly not a place I would comfortably be buying. If I had been shorting, I probably would be off on the sidelines. If I did want to be a bull, I want to see some nice consolidation. I could see, and this was sort of my thinking coming out of here. Clearly that was not the case, so we can probably get rid of that squiggly line theory. I guess what I see here is it kind of looks like AB. Then we clone that. CD. So it looks like we want to go up and maybe even trade 2 new highs. Also, too, you got Ethereum, big fundamental event coming early January. We've got, Zuckerberg with his Facebook coin. We got Maxine Waters and her Treasury Department getting ready to poop on stable coins, all that kind of fun stuff. So that's coming down the pike. I have no idea how this is going to play out. Does anybody? Right? If you got a crystal ball, let me know. I broke mine. Do I have anything to actually do here trade-wise? No. No setup. Just sort of just watching. I was, very... What's the word? Impressed, I guess. The guys that are just following their plans, trading setups. Brian, I haven't got an opinion. I'm just trading the setup. Bot came in, L Tangonators, whatever. They're just out there making money from trading. They got no opinion as to where the hell, what the Fed's going to do or ECB. We have a TRI-SOF meeting tonight, so hopefully the boys spoon feed me a whole bunch of new W's that are coming in that I can consider. And also, too, beg your pardon. We got Kevin will be doing a presentation for the Daily Brief tomorrow. So hopefully he'll have a bunch of ideas for me to shoot at you for tomorrow as well. I suppose you could probably do some nibbling in this space, like things like stake. Still got a couple bids working down below. But if this thing goes and W's out, I'm going to be left behind. But I got a little bit on the books. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit more weakness. Dash, if you believe in Amanda and her penthouse and you believe in the story, that's entirely up to you. Do you want to go to war with the anonymous coin sort of community right now? Versus U.S. government kind of stuff? I don't know. Traders got to trade. It'd be interesting to see if divergences and stuff start coming in. Willie is technically, not quite stupid, so we still got to wait a bit. You can see where the POC is. See where the original double bottom is. This, to me, looks like nothing more than a Wyckoff check right now. yeah, keep an eye out. Get a nice div, get a nice W. Yeah, you might have a half decent trade forming there, but nothing to do today. Sjord is still battling his LTO investment. I walked everybody through the trade here, and I think the trade worked pretty well. Sjord's having a challenge with his investment, quote unquote. So we'll see how that goes. And, what a great analogy of just because you have an opinion, that doesn't mean that you're going to get this kind of technical analysis straight up from here. Come on. Strong opinions loosely held. We'll see how Sjord does. I'll keep updating you on Sjord's LTO journey. If anything, I think he said that the tokens now are yielding 7% annualized return, so he's gone and invested them into whatever it is that gets that yield. And so I just asked him, please, this quote-unquote trade did not go the way that I would expect trades to go. So you now officially own this investment. Good luck. And we will leave the capital investment at that, and let's see how he does. Always a challenge, but anyway. Okay, so as you can see here, I don't see any W's on this screen. Interesting library credits coming back down into interesting sort of, fib levels. Got location happening there. But on balance, everything just sort of looks malaisey. And really, the irony of it all is this is exactly what they're supposed to look like. If you do your nanny nibbling, right, as you can see, just nibbling away, it's getting filled. But I'm not really in a big hurry to do anything on any of this stuff. If I was going to trade anything, actually, I really like this Digi. Digi's gone and W'd out again through bot levels. So, there are names out there. But the setup better be damn crisp. And it better meet all your criteria. Don't half-ass this stuff. Okay, I think that's about all I want to say here today. So, have yourselves a great afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. I guess we'll do one more before the new year. And keep in mind, we do have a raffle coming up for this New School Terms Level 1 program, a seat in the raffle. So, if you'd like to join the raffle, I think David said that the course value right now is at about $12,000. Always fun to come up with those numbers. But anyway, feel free to join. Kevin will include a link to the page so you can sign up, and wish everybody luck. We'll do the raffle drawing on Sunday's broiler chicken show. So, okay, everybody, have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day. All the best, and bye for now.